All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Denali webinar for September 9th, 2015. Today we're going to just talk about how Denali can save time and money by not relying on a big team of accountants. Accountants definitely have their place in any business, but by using a great accounting software like Denali, you can save a lot of money and time by letting Denali do most of the work, leaving a lot less work for your accountants to do. So that's going to be the focus on today's webinar. My name is Jeremy Beislein. I'm a trainer here at Cougar Mountain Software, and I will be your presenter today. We ask that to interact with us today, please type your comments or questions in the chat as we're doing the presentation. And at the end of the presentation, I'll go through and answer all of your questions, as long as there's enough time permitting. If we run out of time, any questions I don't get to, I'll be sure to answer those on the website. We'll get those answers posted, so stand by for that. All right, so our agenda today is we're going to be talking about saving time and money with Denali, kind of an overview on that. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the different business solutions, how Denali can give your business some great solutions for your record keeping and accounting tracking. Then we'll talk about how you can grow your business with Denali by adding extra features and modules in the Denali system as needed. Then we'll talk a little bit about securing your finances with Denali, the Denali security, and how that works for your business, which can also save you a lot of time and money in the end. And then we'll go ahead and finish up at the end with your questions. Okay, so with that, we'll go ahead and get started here. Okay, so Denali is definitely a great accounting software to use to save time and money for your business. Most businesses definitely have to track their finances, and so you will need some kind of an accounting software for that. You have many options available to manage your finances so that you don't have to do it all on your own with paper and pencil or with spreadsheets. Having a solid accounting system in place is the first step in order to keep your bookkeeping and accounting on track, and also knowing what to outsource to an accountant or a bookkeeper as your business grows. That will be your next step. So when you're looking into hiring your team of accountants, using Denali will minimize the expense and time for that. Depending on the size and functions of your business, you can have a minimal staff take care of your accounting and your bookkeeping, and your actual professional accountants like your CPAs can you can save a lot of time and effort even for them. Most CPAs and accountants actually recommend having a good accounting system for you to track your own accounting and your bookkeeping, your accounting and bookkeeping records for your business, so that when they come to do your audits at the end and reconcile everything at the end of the year, or however often they do that, or if you have them do your taxes, the accounting system can be a great solution for saving a lot of time, which of course will save you money in the end. So how does this all work with Denali exactly? How does your business benefit by using Denali as an accounting system? With Denali, you've got several business solutions that you can choose from. So I'm going to switch over to our actual Denali system. For those of you who are new to the Denali system, you've got several business solutions to choose from. And every one of your solutions that you choose all work together with one nice, neat financial package based on the features you need when you set up the Denali for your business, the Denali accounting system. The first thing that you'll see here is Denali has a great workflow on every module that you use. Denali is a modular-based system for the different functions that you're using that you need for your business. Those modules are installed separately, but they all work together and they all communicate with each other so that everything is in a nice, neat accounting package. Every Denali package does come with the controller module, which is what you see here on your screen. The controller module is just the basic setup for your company, the company information such as the company name and address and so forth. You set that up here in the controller module. You also set up the different users that will be using your company accounting system. And we'll talk more about the user setup when we get to the security, because that is where the security is all taken care of, is by the user and the group setup here in the controller module. Controller is also used for your basic utilities for the company, such as backing up your company, restoring your company, setting up your fiscal calendar, all of your basic setup right here in controller. But to get down to the nitty-gritty of your finances and your bookkeeping, that's where the other modules come in. The first module you will go to is your general ledger. This is your basic accounting module. This would be a perfect business solution for anyone wanting to track their accounting and financial status in the Denali system. The general ledger does that for you. With general ledger, you set up your chart of accounts, and all transactions automatically post to the accounts as needed, just like you would in any accounting system. But with Denali, those transactions are now tracked in the Denali history and can now be compiled into nice, neat reports, such as your income statement, for example. And the income statement, you've got several different options here. If we run the profit and loss statement for period 8, which is August, then we see a total profit and loss for August based on each account that is set up by the account description here. The revenue is separated out by the different categories, and this is all set up by you when you get Denali installed. However, you need to set up your chart of accounts. Is entirely up to you. And then those accounts print out on your financial statements. And this is right here the bottom line of what the boss wants to see for any business. How much money am I making? This is my total income. And then this is what I have to pay out for the goods that I am selling in my business, cost of goods sold, separated out by the different categories. What we're looking at here is current period and year to date. So we can see how our current period compares with our total year to date amounts with our profit and loss statement. And this is just one of the many, many reports that you can run in Denali. And you saw how simple it was for me to run this report just by simply clicking on a couple of clicks, and the numbers popped up on my screen. So I do not have to compile this information for the report like a regular accountant would have to do. Denali does that for you automatically based on the transactions that are entered. This report also shows you a profit margin, which is what I've highlighted for the current month. We're doing great for August, not so good for the year, only 4% profit margin. So year to date, I need to look at and see what's going on there. As the boss, what's happening in my business, that's what I would be interested in. Now, as the accountant, I also would like to see the financial condition of my company, which is done right here in the balance sheet report. So a balance sheet report gives me the financial conditions. Oh, and look at me, my demo data doesn't have my report groups set up for that. So as part of the setup, you would set up your report groups on your accounts to make sure that you can run your classified balance sheet reports. Let's try that again. Period 9 gives me a current financial condition of the company. I want to print the account number, so I am going to click that button there. And look at that. I now have my classified balance sheet report. This is what your accountant wants to see. Maybe your banker might want to see this to see what the financial condition of your company is and to determine what you qualify in the way of financing with the bank. So this is a great report to run for that. This tells you how much you own in assets, how much you owe in liabilities, and your net worth, which is your equity right here. Now the net worth also includes your current year's net income on the balance sheet. So that is a great report to give you a total of the net income. Total revenue minus expenses is that number there under net income, which is factored in your current year's net worth. And because we are using the demo data, we have an out of balance showing on the balance sheet. We did that on purpose for demonstration, so don't let that worry you. Denali does have tools in place to find any out of balances, and a very simple and quick way to do that. For more information on finding an out of balance, check the previous webinar that we did on that. We actually did a webinar a couple months ago, and it's posted on the website. So to get down to the details on that, you can always preview those webinars. So everything you do in an accounting system should post to your chart of accounts. With Denali, it happens seamlessly on the fly every time you make an entry, every time you record anything. And it is all recorded so that those numbers can be compiled on your revenue and expense and balance sheet reports or any other financial reports that you need to run in Denali, including your budget reports. If you have the budget set up, you can run your budget reports that will show you what your budgets are compared to your actual numbers. Setting up a budget in Denali is another great way to save time and money and effort. And then you can, of course, save money by keeping track of your budget here. I zoomed that in a little too much, didn't I? There we go. So you can keep track of your actual numbers, what your budget amount is, and the difference between those. I think we entered that budget in as a negative number. It should have been a positive, so we're flip-flopped on that. But yes, with Denali, you can see that by tracking things with the budget, you compare the actual with the budget. It gives us a variance, and that way you can keep track on budget. Our year-to-date numbers over here on the right side shows us where we're at. Our health expense has actually gone over our budget year-to-date so far. So we are a little bit over, and that shows us that right here on the budget report. So as the manager or the owner of my business, that's where I can start tightening down and saying we need to start spending less money so that we can zero that out by the end of the year, that negative variance. Some of our other numbers, like this one, shows we've got plenty left in the budget. We've only used 48% of our budget. Or we've got 48% left in our budget is what that number shows. So just a couple of other examples of how an accounting system can save you time and money. And again, you saw how quick that report was ran. I just simply clicked on the budget report here, selected which report I wanted, and I clicked OK. I can select the period I want to use for year to date and click OK, and that report pops right up on the screen for me. Or I can send it straight to the printer if I'd like. All the numbers are there. There's no extra work that has to be done because the numbers are automatically calculated for you based on the entries that are done. So now I know what everybody's thinking. Well, how do we get those numbers in there? How does that all work? I mean, things don't just always happen completely automatic. With Denali, it's mostly automatic, but you still have to enter and record your transactions like any other system. So what we've done in Denali to save time on that is we've set up the modules that you need for your business in order to record the transactions you need to record. If you need to record expenditures for your business, the Denali Accounts Payable module is perfect for that. You enter all of your expenses in a nice, neat entry here. You just basically put in who you're paying, the description of your expense, the amount, and which expense that specific expense is for. Such as, for example, maybe we have auto expense, and we just select the auto expense category. And when we enter this transaction and post it through, those transactions are automatically recorded in the Denali General Ledger along with the accounts payable and any other module that needs to track those transactions as well, such as bank reconciliation for checks and debits to your bank account. Those are all done automatically for you. Entering the expense is a simple process that a regular clerk can do, and then those expenses are automatically recorded in Denali for you. So Denali is doing all of the bulk of the work in the background, tracking those expenses for you to compile the numbers for those reports that you need. Each module also has their own set of reports. In Denali Accounts Payable, you've got vendor reports for the liabilities you owe to vendor for your accounts payable. The cash requirements to pay current bills that are due, overdue bills, all these different reports you can run, or even an expense distribution report to specifically track where your expenses are going and what vendors are paying those expenses. So if we select some of our accounts here that we have set up, some of our expense categories, we can run a specific report to say what vendors got paid out for these expenses and how much did we pay out for them. Running this report in the detailed format, such as we're doing here, will show each transaction entered with the description and the amount for that transaction. And then we have a total for the expense category. in this case our supplies category right now year to date totals $18,712.59. But we can see who we paid. These are our vendors. We paid Paper Supply Warehouse, and we also paid Total Hardware Incorporated for these expenses. Our office expense account, we paid Harris Office Supply House and Paper Supply House again. Now Paper Supply House was also for supplies and office expense, as you can see here. And these numbers are automatic. Pulling the information out is simple to do once those transactions are posted through. So the day-to-day entries are real simple, and then running your reports are real simple, which is going to save you a lot of time and effort in the end. If you need to track income, that is done with the Denali sales module. So the Denali sales module is where you track all of the revenue coming into your business. And if you also have an accounts receivable system where you allow customers to charge on account, or if you just need to have a customer tracking system, the sales module will work directly with the accounts receivable module. And each module, as you can see, is, even though they're separate, they're all linked together. So when you make an entry in the sales module, then those entries are automatically posted to the accounts receivable, to the accounts payable for sales tax if needed, to the inventory to track your inventory items being sold, which is another module, inventory, if you have inventory you need to track. All of these things are done automatically for you just from a single entry right here. We go into order entry to enter an invoice for our customer. This is our sale we're making to our customer. So we go in here and make our sale, and Denali has a completely customizable sale entry system, which will also save you time. You decide what features you need for this system to work for your business. So here is our invoice entry screen. We put in the customer by selecting from our list here from accounts receivable who we're selling to, and then we just select the items we want to sell to this customer. I want to sell 3 of these to this customer. We get a total sale amount down here. Sales tax is automatically calculated. You don't have to worry about tracking your sales tax with a system like Denali. We just simply save this invoice and it will post through to this customer's account automatically for you. And the customer's account is tracked in the accounts receivable module. Yes, I do want to clear the transaction. Okay, so maybe you're a retail store that requires a cash register system. Denali has a great point of sale system that will help you with that as well. And with a cash register system, you'll notice it looks almost identical to our order entry system, but we select which cash register and which sales clerk is logging in, and then we can go ahead and make our sale through a cash register system. With the new Denali 4.2, well actually it was Denali 5.0 that we came out with our touch screen buttons here. These are optional features that you can add to your cash register system if you have a touchscreen cash register that you want to click on to sell the customer the items that need to be sold just by touching the screen here, as you can see there. So we add the item that we're selling to our customer, and any other additional charges are automatically calculated, sales tax is calculated, and then we just simply click on how the customer is paying. $224.42, let's say they give us a bunch of $20 bills, $240. We go ahead and click OK. That sale is now tracked and posted with a change due. The cash drawer pops open, you hand the change to the customer, just like any other sales clerk with any other system would do. However, this sale will now post through to the customer in accounts receivable to track that sale in their account. If the customer wasn't put in, it was just a cash customer. Denali is fine with cash customers. Many retail outlets do have cash customers that just walk in their store, buy something, and walk out, and there's no customer tracking required. But the option is there by putting the customer information up here in the customer field. The sale is also posted through to your inventory for the items we sold to relieve them from inventory. Any amounts that was received in cash and the revenue amounts to the revenue, the inventory, and the cost of goods sold, those are automatically tracked in the general ledger on your revenue and expense reports, and the inventory is relieved from the inventory asset account. All of that is done automatically for you. So there's no need to take your receipt book at the end of the day and add up your sales and manually post those journal entries to your general ledger system. Denali handles that for you with whatever solutions that you have installed for your business. And a cash register system is just one of many solutions that you may need, or you may not need that system, depending on your business. The inventory module we talked a little bit about. This is where you track all of your inventory items. If you're a service-only industry that doesn't carry any inventory, you may not need this module at all. So therefore, Denali is set up for you to use whichever business solutions work for you. You can start with a basic accounting package, and this is how Denali can grow with your business. With the basic accounting package you can start with, such as your general ledger, accounts receivable, and accounts payable package. And then as your business grows, maybe you decide you need a bank tracking system, a cash management solution to track your cash in the bank. You can add the Denali Bank Reconciliation module for that. You may need a purchase ordering system, so therefore you would add the purchase order module to set up a purchase ordering system to track orders from your vendors. And again, these are all interlinked. Any orders placed through the purchase order system will automatically post to your accounts payable module for the invoicing of those orders and to the inventory module for the receiving of the items you ordered. Those are fully automatic and integrated, and you can add these modules as needed as your business grows. Now, Denali has a set of packages that you can start with. For example, Denali has the Basecamp package, which includes just the basic accounting modules, and then you can add with the Ascent package if you need to start with a little bigger package, which includes a few other modules. You can also select that package, or all the way up to the Summit package, which is a complete system of accounting for tracking revenue and expenses and orders and inventory and all of the different options that you may need. Those packages come with the modules included for those packages, or you can purchase each module individually as needed. You can start with the Basecamp package and add additional modules later as needed as your business grows. So it's a great system, and all of these modules work together, saving you a lot of time and money in the end. One of the highlights of Denali, though, is a separate add-on called the Payroll system. Many companies outsource their payroll because payroll is such a monstrosity to try to do in-house. It is very complex. It's one of the most complex systems that any business has to deal with. But if you have employees, you have to deal with payroll. So a lot of businesses will go ahead and outsource their payroll because it is so much easier to just pay somebody else to do it, and then you don't have to deal with it. But with Denali Payroll module, you can avoid the outsourcing of payroll, saving you a lot of money. But then the scary thought comes, well, then I'm going to have to do my own payroll. Well, Denali Payroll makes that easy. Once your payroll is set up and you've got everything in place, processing a payroll through Denali is just a couple of clicks. You just simply click on the Enter Payroll, put in the dates that you're running your payroll for, and click Add to Grid to pay your active employees. See how quick that was? These right here are all of my employees that I'm paying, and their paychecks are done. Here's their hours they worked. Here's the gross pay for their hours, deductions, taxes, and their net pay. It's automatically calculated. This is the payroll taxes, any benefit or deductions, automatically calculated just by taking a little extra time to set up the payroll module in the beginning. And then every time you run payroll, you just click here, click there, and then it's done. It's just a matter of just running your reports, printing your paychecks, processing your direct deposits, and posting the batch, and you're done. And you just follow each step, next, 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 all the way through until you get to the posting step, and then it's done. Now, of course, I have to click OK to actually run the step, which I've skipped over in the interest of time, but it's real simple to do in Denali. The actual calculation of payroll is fully automated in Denali, so you don't have to worry about the hassle and the monstrosity of the complexity of payroll. Denali does all of that work for you. And when you get to the posting step at the end, everything is automatically tracked to the other modules as needed. The checks are posted to the bank rec module for your bank reconciliation. Your payroll liabilities are posted to accounts payable. And all of your payroll expenses and general ledger entries are posted to the general ledger as needed. So Payroll is an add-on you can add to any one of the Denali packages, or it's just another module you can purchase to add to whatever system you already use for Denali. What else is great about Denali is you may have another GL system to track your basic financial needs, but you want to try Denali Payroll without using Denali General Ledger or Bank Rec, and that's entirely possible. You can get the Payroll only system that gives you the Payroll module only and still use whatever other system you're using for General Ledger, and once you get comfortable with that, you can go ahead and add your General Ledger and Bank Rec to your Payroll system later. And then the revenue side, your sales, accounts receivable, and your accounts payable and purchase order and inventory as needed. So Denali is a great solution for growing with your business as you see fit. One final thing I wanted to point out with Denali for a great business solution is we have just released our Denali 6.0. It's the latest version. And if you go here, I can show you that that's the version I'm on here, Denali 6.0 here. And Denali 6.0 now has available to anyone who needs it the new job costing module. So this module is great for businesses that need to track expenses based on the jobs. They need to have a job costing solution. Denali Job Cost is great for that. It tracks all of your revenue and expenses to the specific projects or jobs as needed. It's perfect for construction industries, also for manufacturing industries. When you're manufacturing products to sell to retailers, you can use the job costing module to track your manufacturing costs and expenses. Or there's just a multitude of uses that you can set up with the job cost if you need to track revenue and expenses by specific jobs or projects. So that is now available. Contact your sales representative for more information on that, because job cost is now available today. Anybody who needs to add that to their current Denali system, or if you're looking to buy a new accounting system for your business and you want to go with Denali and you need a job cost solution, you can now get that with our job cost module. Job costing can be done by the job, as talked about here, and each job is tracked. I've got one that we're using in our demo company. We'll pull up here. This is a heating and air system for the hobby shop. Hobby shop is one of our customers. And it has all of our different cost codes, material codes, labor codes, all of the different expenses that are posted, the different expenses that we budgeted in for the project. It is all included in the job costing module. And all the work is done for you here. All of these numbers are automatically posted based on the transactions and the code setups that you do. So you don't have to go through and compile this information manually. It is automated with the new system. All right, so that is the Denali solution. One final thing that I want to end on is the security system in Denali. We talked about that a little bit with the users. In Denali, your security is handled by user rights. Basically, you would give your clerks the right to do the work, but you're going to save the right to verify their work as the manager or the owner of the business. So you can secure your finances just by selecting what the users can do, which gives them the ability to do all the work, the legwork and the transactions, and then you are going to reserve the actual finances for yourself or for the managers who need to have access to the accounting system. So the security is handled by users. Some of the modules, such as sales, add additional security rights to specific sales clerks that you can give them special rights of what they can and cannot do in a sale, especially a point of sale system with a cash register, because there's a lot of cash coming in and out. Denali has some great security features to help track the cash in and out of your system so that you don't have people that can basically lose money, quote unquote, out of the cash register, and there's no tracking of where that money came in or where it went out. Denali tracks all that for you in a nice, secure system. A final word on security. Everything that is done in Denali is posted to the Denali Audit Trail report. Every transaction from every module. And what's great about the Audit Trail is not only does it post the transaction information, but it gives details on the information for that transaction. So each transaction is coded by the date of the transaction reference number. The reference number is also a security feature in and of itself because it is a tracking number in sequence. It gives you the batch number from the module it posted and the transaction number within that batch. That is your audit trail reference number. So if you have a transaction that's out of sequence by date, you can see that just by looking at the reference number, if it's not right in sequence with the other transactions where it needs to be by date. You have your description, you have the batch number, and you have the detail description, which is the detail section of the transaction. But more importantly, you also have the user of who entered that transaction, so you can see everything that is coming and going in your business with this audit trail report, and you can see who is doing what based on your secure setup by your users. Now, of course, in our demo company, all we have is the supervisor, so that's the only user that's showing. But if you had other users entering and posting transactions, you would definitely see that here on your audit trail report. So the security of your business is also a great money and time saver, because if everything is posting through correctly, like it should, and your employees know that you are using a secure, robust system, then they're going to make sure they do their work correctly before it's posted, especially if you're double checking their work. And then any discrepancies can quickly be identified in the audit trail rather than having to dig up doing a lot of research and taking a lot of time, which is money, to find those discrepancies. Denali can point those out for you in a hurry with the secure audit trail system. So the security of your business is important in any business, and Denali has great secure features for that. All right, so that is an overview of how you can use Denali to save time and money for your business. Denali is a great solution for that. Highly recommended. Definitely check out our website, cougarmtn.com, cougarmountain.com, for more information on what options are available to you with the Denali system and how you can get a system set up for your business that works for you. So with that, any questions that you have, go ahead and type those in the chat. I haven't seen any questions come in yet, so any questions that you have, go ahead and get those typed in and we'll get those answered. In the meantime, let's go ahead and bring up the upcoming webinars. We'll go ahead and bring those up real quick. With Denali, we've got some additional webinars for existing users and for new users. So check out the website here, cougarmountain.com monthly webinar series. And you can also get there directly from the Cougar Mountain website under the Resources tab. So our next webinar we've got coming up is going to be on September 30th. Prepare now for year end. Oh, that's going to be an exciting one. So be sure to check out the webinar on September 30th for year end. This basically is a great lead to the year end because September 30th is the end of third quarter. So we've only got one quarter left in this year for those who are on a calendar year. And especially for those who have the payroll module or the accounts payable module and you're processing 1099 forms. Because, of course, every tax year is on a calendar year. So check us out on September 30th, right here, same place, same spot, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific for our next webinar presentation on preparing for the year end to save time, which, of course, saves money. And that's what today's webinar was all about. All right, so with that, I make sure that you contact your sales rep with any questions. There is the sales number hotline for Cougar Mountain, 1-800-388-3038. You can also send an email, sales@cougarmountain.com. The sales reps will get right back with you if you have any questions or comments that you'd like to make about the Cougar Mountain software. So with that, I want to thank you all for attending today. Be sure to check us out on September 30th. Also, check out the website, cougarmountain.com. Under the Resources tab, under the Webinars, this webinar presentation will be posted in a couple of days. So be sure to check us out, and we will definitely have some additional information for you. We'll have this recorded presentation up there on the website that you can access anytime. Thank you so much for attending. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you next time.